Welcome to Self-Publishing with Ally, proudly sponsored by Book Vault. Sell high-quality print-on-demand books directly to readers worldwide and earn maximum royalties selling directly. Automate fulfillment and create stunning special editions with Book Vault Bespoke. Visit bookvault.app today for an instant quote. Our self-publishing news stream is sponsored by book cover design company Mibble Art. They offer unlimited revisions, take no deposit to start work, and you pay only when you love the final result. Get a book cover that will become your #1 marketing tool. And now, here's your host for Self-Publishing with Ally, Dan Holloway.
Hello and welcome to another self-publishing news podcast from a very warm and summery Oxford. And we have some news, some figures from Spotify to start the week off with. And those figures are in its latest report on its increasing listenership. So it seems that, well, first of all, Spotify claims that it now has a catalogue of over 400,000 audiobooks. So it's clearly a major player. And the big headline figure in its news release, which is titled "Audiobook Sales Continue to Grow," is that indeed audiobook listeners are growing significantly. So in the US, UK and Australia, so the primary English language markets that Spotify serves, the number of audiobook listeners has increased by 30% year on year. And there has been a 36% increase in the number of hours that people are listening. So that means not only are listeners growing, but even if only slightly, they are listening more than they were. So obviously that is really good news for those of us on Spotify. As I've said before, the market shows no sign of slowing down. It's actually increasing. And one of the things that Spotify are doing is they are claiming some credit for the overall good health of the market. So they're specifically talking about how publishers that they work with are saying that their own audiobook sales are increasing as a result of working with Spotify. And they quote some fairly big publishers, so Bloomsbury and HarperCollins, all of whom are saying that there is massive year-on-year growth that they're experiencing as a result directly of partnering with Spotify. That said, it's not just publishers that they are wanting to work with and help when they talk about their plans for the future. They are still talking about continuing to provide the best experience for authors, publishers and listeners alike. So authors are still there as sort of #1 on their list. And it is clear that we are very much part of not only what they're doing at the moment, but their plans for the future. And they seem to be looking to increase, as they put it, the support and resources for independent authors, which is obviously good news for us. So that's Spotify, and Spotify carrying on growing and clearly now a major, if not the major player in the audiobook market. What else do we have? We have more audiobook news, and the other audiobook news we have this week is the launch of a new audiobook award. So as you know, the main audiobook award at the moment is the Audio Publishers Association's Audies, or Audio Awards, which is based in America and has 28 categories. I think it's 28 categories at the last count. As one I report on every year, it's open to indies. There have been some indie winners. The new awards are called the Speakies. They've clearly avoided saying the Talkies for obvious movie-related reasons, but they seem to have decided to go back to the 1920s, and it reminds me of speakeasies. So I am imagining that the parties will be a lot of fun. There are 17 categories, and they are designed in the words of the award to celebrate all who bring stories to life through sound. So it's an audiobooks award. There are also awards for performance. And the awards are open to indies. So I've had a thorough scan through the eligibility criteria, which is always fun. There is nothing in there to stop indies submitting, so that's one of the ways I often phrase things. There are awards that embrace the indie community, and there are awards that don't exclude us. This definitely falls into the latter, but nonetheless, I very much hope to be reporting on some indie winners, or at least shortlisted entries. You have until the 7th of July to shortlist yourself or to nominate yourself by uploading your audiobook through the entry portal. There are some interesting sort of amber flags for the awards. So anyone who is shortlisted from or who is published by a large company, they are charging £1,500. So that's nearly $2,000 to each shortlisted entry to help contribute towards their costs. Anyone who is published by an organisation of 10 employees or fewer, and that includes us, obviously, most of us as indies, will be exempted. Nonetheless, this is it's one of the less seemly sides of the awards industry, is the way that there are these charges involved. And this is something that has been spoken about a lot and complained of a lot in the industry over the years. And it's kind of a shame, I guess, to see a new award going down this route. But there we go. It doesn't apply to us, at least, although we would be required to buy tickets to the awards events. And that, again, it's not necessarily a great look. And so it's a UK award. It's not exclusionary. So it's for people whose work has been made available in the UK. So anyone from anywhere in the world can enter. But obviously there is this caveat that if you are shortlisted, you will be required to buy tickets to the awards ceremony. And if you're coming from overseas, that will mean, obviously, that you have to pay to fly and so on. So yes, lots of audiobook news. And there is a little bit of AI news. The main thing I have found is a new report from the Wall Street Journal. And obviously this is a report that we know what it's going to find because it's from a newspaper, and it's about the effects of AI on online income. But nonetheless, it's very interesting. It has found that advertising income has reduced dramatically because people are clicking through less with AI-generated searches coming up at the top of their search results, because they already have the AI-generated summaries there, so therefore they don't click through to see the stories that the summaries have been generated from. So this is similar to the general concern that there has been for many years about aggregation sites and preview summaries in the way that search engines display their search results. That was the reason the European Union wanted to introduce the so-called link tax as a way of supporting publishers whose works weren't being seen as much and therefore were earning less from advertising revenue because people weren't clicking through. They were just looking at the search summaries. And this seems to be accelerating the lack of click-throughs. So people are just finding what they want through the AI-generated summaries, and they're not going to the sources. Who would have thought? So anyway, that's the AI news this week. But the good news is that audiobooks are doing great. So I very much hope to be reporting soon on some shortlisted and winning entries for the new Speakies Awards for indie authors. So with that, I will leave you and try and escape from this never-ending sunshine that we seem to be having here in the UK at the moment. Speak to you again this time next week.
You've been listening to Self-Publishing with Ally, proudly sponsored by Book Vault. Sell high-quality print-on-demand books directly to readers worldwide and earn maximum royalties selling directly. Automate fulfillment and create stunning special editions with Book Vault Bespoke. Visit bookvault.app today for an instant quote. Our self-publishing news stream is sponsored by book cover company Nibble Art. They offer unlimited revisions, take no deposit to start work, and you pay only when you love the final result. Get a book cover that will become your #1 marketing tool. And if you haven't already, we invite you to join our association and become a self-publishing ally. You can do that at allianceindependentauthors.org.